Hello, hello, and welcome to the second series of the evening. We're going to the B West division between Bunker Funtime and Roll1Esports. Now, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup, and when you look at the standings, you'll see why. They are 1 point away, and this is the second and third team from B West. Whoever wins this is going to be able to take at least the second place. And if Roll1Esports win a domination, they're going to catapult themselves to first. And I believe Bunker Funtime, Bork Side of the Moon, I don't know the tiebreakers, but they could also start pushing for those fully upper tiers here. Now the map pick and ban has already happened. So now Bunker Funtime did decide for first pick. So the map picks and bans are going to be Brax's Holdout and Alterac Pass from Roll1Esports, then Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow for Bunker Funtime. And then the final map is going to be Infernal Shrines picked by Roll1Esports. Now this is a pretty interesting map with the Infernal Shrines. Obviously Dahaka good on every map, but this is the Hogger specialty map. So I'm really hoping to see a Hogger picked or banned. You never know. We're going to have to see as we get further on into the game, as we get into this draft. And we should be getting started soon. Lobby's already been made, just waiting on a couple more players. Sorry, one moment. And I'm really excited to see just how close these two teams are going to be. They are neck and neck in the standings. And I'm actually going to take a moment to just kind of walk through their previous results. So now Roll1Esports, I'm going to look from their perspective first. They've played against Mag 1-0, played against SWS 1-0, and lost to CM 2-1. So their only loss, they still were able to win at least one map, and that was against Clouded Mines. Clouded Mines is in fourth place, actually tied with Bunker Funtime in terms of points now. Now Bunker Funtime, with their results going back, they lost to Bork Side of the Moon, which is currently 11 points up in first place. Only lost one map so far, I believe. And then 1-1 against SWS, but did get the domination against Clouded Mines. So someone who was able to take them down, who was able to take down Roll1Esports, lost to Bunker Funtime. I do believe the top few positions are pretty close right now in this Div B West. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we're going. And now they are waiting on one player updating their game, which is pretty interesting to say. We should have an update coming out soon. And then after that, I believe we'll be in a pretty good spot. I'm just excited for the Dahaka nerfs. That's like my main thing that I'm just waiting for. I want to see Oriole nerfed slightly. I love that Oriole is played. Don't get me wrong. And this is a hero I want to keep in the meta. Just maybe a bit less meta, you know? Oriole right now, especially once it hits more into the late game, more and more stacks, the healing just becomes insane. It is so difficult to out DPS it. If you're not able to jump onto the Oriole, you're not going to be able to win the fights. And even if you do, Crystal Age just popped and they're fine and dandy. The team can play around you for a little while. Okay, we're waiting on one last player now. 9 players have been joined. I don't know. This is a pretty exciting game for me. I want to see who's going to be able to come out on top, because right now there's really only 4 teams goes over to that top side. In fact, we can go back to the standings page. That is kind of what I'm looking at right now. And it is Clouded Mines, Bunker Funtime, Roll1Esports, Bork Side of the Moon. Magnitude Aftershock, Surely We Scale, and Macro Machines are a bit further behind, especially Macro Machines right now, currently sitting at only 1 point. But other than that, this division is still pretty open. It's still early days. Even Macro Machines could come back, though obviously it'll take a bit more for them, as they need a domination just to tie for 5th at the moment. And I believe the rules are for B West, top 4 or 6 teams make it. I need to double check, because that obviously is going to change a lot, whether you need to just make it into not last place, or whether you need to really start competing over into those higher positions. Now 10th player joined. Hopefully we can get started soon. We made the lobby pretty quickly, but the players taking a little bit of extra time to get in, but that's okay. We're not in a rush. At least for me. I don't know about any of you, but I'm on West Coast. It's still quite early for me. Still a lot of time for a decent amount of HOTS to be played, and that's what I'm really looking forward to here. Now, we saw an interesting series. Now, if any of you are just joining us for this Div B West game, we just had a series with a Cho'Gall. And it was a really fun game to watch. This was my first time casting a Cho'Gall. I believe in the last split, Cho'Gall was not picked at all. And the Cho'Gall actually performed really well. They weren't able to win the game in the end, but it was not because of the Cho'Gall. And it was really interesting as well because it was into a Malthael and a Tychus. They had to pick the Cho'Gall before the last two picks, which really changed the draft. It was a ton of fun to watch. So when I post this VOD, or even now, you could look back through this stream. I highly recommend it. It was game 2, super entertaining to watch. But now, while we're waiting on them to join in, I'll give one quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Any of you who were here during the sponsor segment obviously already know what that is, but it is a pretty relaxing 3peaks solitaire game. And as you go through the levels, more and more simple mechanics are added just to keep things from getting dull. Join a club, help each other out, and see how far you can get into the game. Download for free today using the link in the chat or from the panel down below. And even beating the first tutorial level helps me out a lot as a creator. Takes 2 minutes, and I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, still waiting on teams to be ready. I'm actually going to ask them what's going on because we've had everyone in the lobby for the first couple minutes. Okay. I'm just going to make them start doing the ready check. I want to get started. I don't like sitting in lobbies. I don't know why. So who are we waiting? All right. Okay. Everyone seems to be ready. We should be heading into game number 1 shortly. So this is going to be it to see who's going to be the number 2 and possibly number 1 between Bunker Funtime and Roll1Esports. All right, and we are into draft. Infernal Shrines going to be the map. And like I always say, this is a pretty interesting map. This is one of the few objectives that doesn't really damage the structures. It damages the heroes. That's its primary purpose. And it's your job to damage the objectives off of that pressure. But it also takes a while to finish it off. You need to kill 40 skeletons. And heroes like Chromie are very powerful here. Hogger obviously depends on who plays what. Different teams will have their own internal metas, their own internal preferences. And also stylistically changes a lot. It's easily my favorite part of HOTS that individual preference matters so much at all levels. But now Diablo going to be the first ban for Bunker Funtime, as they are the ones with first pick this time around. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to go for here. Offlane obviously pretty important on this map. Hogger is super strong. Same with Dahaka. Could do a handshake for it, or they could just play something completely different. We're just going to have to wait and see. Depends on what these two teams enjoy. Second ban going to be coming through here. And it is the Maiev. Now Maiev, obviously a big playmaker, so trying to remove that from Bunker Funtime. Definitely going to slow down a little bit of the engage. And it's the ease of execution for Maiev, if you know how to play the hero anyway. It's actually pretty decently simple because you just need to create distance, you pull them in, and your team could even try playing in ways that force them to step out of bounds or punish them for trying to stay within bounds of the Umbral Bind. But now Anubrak going to be the second ban. 2 tanks. I believe they are targeting Zad for this. I believe that is the tank for Roll1Esports, if I'm not misremembering. Ukulele, I will hydrate with my tea. I noticed that a lot of people do take the hydrate stuff, but it's never when my cam's on. But I do have my cam on more often, so feel free to take it a bit more liberally. And the final ban going to be coming through right now for Roll1Esports, and it's going to be the Vala. Trying to get rid of that pretty, I'm trying to remember the word, but it's a DPS. You can kind of play it however you want. Sorry, my mind is a little bit tired. It is my second series of the day. But once we get in game, I promise you, I will be on point. But Vala, very flexible. That's the word I was thinking of. And Stukov locked in for Dicello, and the Dahaka for Zad, and Sylvanas for Jason. So I was wrong. Zad is not the tank. That's my bad on that. But the Dahaka is going to be picked up. Obviously, very powerful hero. Very good on Infernal Shrines. Infernal Shrines is a massive map. So being able to get the extra push is going to go a long way. And now Varian and Tychus is going to get locked in for Zednim and Plant Fox. Tychus obviously very powerful here. And then the Stukov Varian combo. So having some kind of cleanse would be very beneficial for Roll1Esports. I'm wondering if Bunker Funtime will try to ban away the Anduin. I do think that is the easiest answer for the Varian Stukov combo, because you can just pull away whoever is getting jumped upon. Because even if you do have the cleanse, there's still going to be a lot of damage in that one location. But now Melthiel going to be the ban for Roll1Esports. Tychus is already locked in, so they're going to have a little bit of that percent health damage, if that was their concern. On the other hand, Malthiel does do quite well into Dahaka. But it's not going to be the Anduin ban, it's going to be the Joanna ban. The Roll1Esports, they still need a tank, still need a healer, and then a flex. Could be another bruiser, or they could just go 2 bruiser, have the triple bruiser frontline, no need for a tank. And they are going to take the Anduin and the Thrall. So Anduin, obviously, like I was saying, very good answer into Varian Stukov. Probably the simplest way to counter that combo. Because whenever you do have the taunt into the lurking arm, even if you are cleansed, there's going to be a lot of damage being dealt to you. But Anduin's going to not only cleanse you, but also pull you away from whatever pool of damage is going to be landing at those feet, and keep you away from any follow-up. And now the final picks coming through for Bunker Funtime, Falstad, and Deathwing. That's a very interesting one. Likely to be the offlaner. And Raven X going to play the Falstad as Alumini Bree. Going to play the Deathwing. Now I'm wondering if they could also put the Falstad into the offlane. Actually performs decently well into Dahaka. You get a decent amount of stacks if they're going the auto attack build. And the hammering build is a little bit harder to stack, but regardless, final pick coming through, and it's going to be the ETC. So this Thrall is going to be the melee assassin Thrall, not going to be the offlane. They could try to do 1-3-1, but it's very interesting to see the ETC here. They actually don't have too many ways of canceling the mosh pit. If Rocky or W is able to get onto a couple members, it could definitely turn the fight, could definitely turn how this game goes. But now, let's get ready for game number 1 between Bunker Funtime and Roll1Esports. All right, and we're finishing loading into this second series of the day. Division B West, Bunker Funtime versus Roll1Esports. Now, it does seem like Plant Fox is the one behind. So hopefully we won't need to do a reset. We have had a couple of delays this past week due to some issues. But no, Plant Fox does seem to be moving at least a little bit in this loading screen. But regardless, looking at these two drafts, sorry, I'm not sure who entirely to favor here. I do think it's going to depend a lot on who's able to get the stacks early, or on the fall stat specifically for Raven X. because Falstad scales super well into the game, regardless of the build. Just a very strong late game hero, and especially once level 20's hit with that wind tunnel, becomes so difficult to play into it. But now, looks like 9 of the 10 members are grouping mid. Zad likely to burrow somewhere maybe? Or maybe just a bit late to walk out through here. And I am interested to see what this talent's going to be for Raven X. And it is going to be the Hammerang build. So it's not going to be the auto attack Falstad that we do sometimes see. Now Rocky W, you're gonna see Alumini Bree. Alumini Bree just gonna land the stun and walk away. Not too worried about death there. It's still just level 1. The DPS isn't quite there to take down 100% of a Deathwing's HP. Now looking for the push forward. And Bunker Fun Time, they will be able to get first move. But it will be answered pretty soon by Roll1Esports. Now, Raven X and Plant Fax already all the way to the spot side. They're already going to get the clear. And it is going to be Alumini Bree versus Zad over in this top side. And with the Earth Shatter, we'll be able to just help clear out the wave. Molten Flame going to be utilized as well later on. Should be difficult to match, but now 5 members, they have the Chastise on to Zednam. Dichel also in a bad spot. Gonna get rooted up and is trying to walk away. Needs just a little bit more healing, but the damage just not there. Haunting Wave gonna get thrown out by Jason. Very close to a first blood for Roll1Esports, but they weren't able to get it. Dicello will be able to heal back up. And because of that, Alumini Bree can zone away Zad and make it harder to get the extra XP. So a little bit of soak gonna be missed for that play, but very close fight. And now the siege camp gonna get finished off by Jason. Gonna get mashed on the left side by Bunker Funtime. But now Raven X gonna get jumped upon. They have the root, they have the Chastise, and will be able to get first blood. Roll1Esports playing strong. They weren't able to get in the first play, but the second play, that's all you need. 2 attempts. And with that, they're gonna be able to get the kill, and they're also gonna be able to take this bot side siege camp. And they can push with it, maybe get one of these structures down from the wall and play around that. Now Zad is walking forward. Plant Fox just DPSing on it from the wall, and Zad is in stasis, but is quite low. Overpower gonna get thrown. Or sorry, not overpower. I always mistake that ability. Overkill. But now with the bot lane, they have the black arrows. They have the siege camp. They're not able to get onto Zad, and because of that, they're going to be able to take down this entire wall. The gate and the bot cannon tower are already gone. The top one going to follow. Zakon taking a decent amount of damage. Level 4 has come through, and the taunt will land during the power slide, so they will be able to just back away. Slowly but surely, Roll1Esports definitely able to get themselves these leads. Now they'll also be able to shove down mid, and this siege camp shouldn't be able to take down too much of this building, but it will be some extra damage going onto this wall. Now Velvet and Juaniba gonna be aiming towards their bruiser camp, and also gonna get matched on the other side by Dicello, Plantfax, and Alumini Bree. Then I'm also gonna join, so it's 5 members of Roll1Esports all working on the bruiser camp, while 4 members now down to 2, gonna be doing it for Bunker Funtime. But now the skeletons have spawned. Roll1Esports already on to the play. Zednem looking to walk forward, trying to steal something, but not really able to. Now Raven X also throwing out the Hammerang. Still needs 7 stacks for that big bonus, and the Molten Flame just used as a zoning tool. And Bunker Funtime, they're able to strong arm Roll1Esports to get away. The Molten Flame, once again, just doing so much damage. Now they have the taunt onto the throw, but Velvet able to just run away with that bonus move speed. Rocket W trying to walk forward, and we'll be able to take a couple. And now the Earth Shatter lands on all 5 members, but same with the healing. Zadnem looking for the play in the front. Will get hit by the Chastise. Molten Flame in the back, and with the lurking arm, and they will be able to get the final hit from Zadnem. The twin blades, too strong. So it's going to be 1 for 1, but the skeletons are still pretty even. Roll1Esports, it doesn't look like they want to come back and contest it, but they're only down 5. Only a little bit left for Bunker Funtime. But it does look like they're fully giving it up. And the first Punisher, the Arcane Punisher, going to Bunker Funtime. But now, in the meanwhile, in this top side, the Bruiser Camp is still pushing in. Alumini Bree going to try clearing it away with the Molten Flame, as Zad will deal DPS. But the real main push is going to be here. And actually able to dodge away onto this jump. Now, the Arcane Punisher, it's still also the first Punisher of the game. Not going to be too tanky. Not going to be able to deal too much damage. But they are going to be able to take down one of the cannon towers, get a little bit of damage on the wall. But during all this, Raven X was also soaking bottom. So they decided to trade the pressure from the Punisher for a little bit of an XP lead. Just a little below half a level is their lead because of that play. And now both sides, once again, going to get started onto their siege camps. And it is going to be hard to out DPS a Thrall Sylvanas onto neutrals. So that's always going to be a little bit of pacing. The Bunker Fun Time will be falling behind on. But now they are looking for the Death Brush as they do get started onto this bot side siege camp. And now Rocky W just walking forward. They do land the taunt. And with the minigun, Plantfax able to deal so much damage. But they get zoned away. And Roll1Esports just going to be able to take this for themselves. They have the full camp going in their favor. And now they're going to be able to get the push over in this bot side again. It will close the XP lead a little bit. And Rocky W looking to aim forward, but not going to be able to get the face mount in a good direction. Big grenade able to land onto all 4 members, but Juaniba is still full mana, so will be able to just heal the team quite easily. But the siege camp not going to be able to land onto the wall. But now Alumini Bree fighting against that. But the entire squad of Roll1Esports is here, but they won't be able to break that first armor spot. And the rest of the squad is now here. Rocky W just going to jump over the wall with the power slide, as both teams are regrouping. Level 10 almost hit by Bunker Funtime, so they are going to have a bit of a power play coming up soon. They are looking to fight right now. Plant Fox looking for a Rocker W, but will just power slide away. Level 10s are now hit for Bunker Funtime, and they will need a little bit on Roll1Esports before they get their own. But can they really get anything with this pressure? There's not enough time. There's nothing to fight over. And because of that, level 10 should be getting matched soon. They're aiming towards Zad right now. Raven X gonna throw down the lightning rod. They see Zad running through bushes, and the Hawk is just so fast. It's so hard to keep up if you're trying to chase him while DPSing. And now the push does come through in the bot lane. So level 10's on both sides. Next Punisher, by the way, is going to be the Mortar Punisher up in this top lane. Should be starting to spawn someone soon. I expect we'll get the announcement any minute now. But now Rocky W actually has an interesting spot, but does get spotted out by Zednam, using the twin blades to show we know exactly where you are. And now the shrine is going to be activating 30 seconds away. And actually the mid lane wall does get finished off by a wave of minions. So Bunker Funtime able to get a little bit of extra pressure that way. Alumini Bree gonna lose one of the cannon towers on this top side as they auto attack the rest. And I'm just curious what this build is. So it's going to be percent health, molten flame damage, the landing abilities, and birth beneath my shadow. So being able to play on objectives is going to be pretty big for this Deathwing. And now Bunker Funtime, they do have the first move here onto the skeletons. And now Zednam looking to walk forward, already used the protection. Now Juaniba throws out a heal, and Raven X is going to fly in. But now the Earth Shadow lands on a Velvet. They have the taunt, but the mosh pit over the back ring gonna get canceled by the grenade. But the light bomb with the drag, but with the swipes, they will be okay. Now Cataclysm go down over top. Velvet is the one that's kind of in the middle of everyone. Will get silenced, will get slowed, but with the healing, will be okay. And now the Earthquake does come through, and they have the Silence Molten Flame over top, but it's not enough. Roll1Esports able to get one. And it's this 1-for-0 is pretty big, but it's still pretty short respawn timers. And we got a pause. Unfortunate timing for that. But you know what? Sometimes you can't really help it. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. And they actually had 2 players DC at the same time. So hopefully we'll be able to get back into this soon. I'll be keeping an eye out on the chat, and I'll be updating you as we go. So this may be a more elongated pause, because 2 members leaving at the same time could be a chance that their internet has gone out. But yeah, with that being said, right now the game is still really close, and that's what I wanted to see from these 2 and 3 positions in Division B West. XP lead is null and void right now. These team fights are really all it's going to be. And what I'm really curious about going into this mid to late game is who's going to be able to scale further. Because Roll1Esports, I do think they have the stronger team fight. They have Light Bomb, they have Earthquake, Wailing Arrow, Mosh Pit, obviously. All really powerful team fight abilities. However, I do believe the Falstad will scale a bit better. And same with Tychus. Those two heroes scale super well into the late game. Stukov obviously super powerful and very good pick comp from Bunker Funtime. So if they're able to take down one of these heroes before the fight starts, it could change a lot in terms of how the rest of the team fight goes, how the rest of the game moves. So I think it's really hard to tell, even at going to the mid to the late game, who's really going to be able to take advantage of who and who really wants the scaling. Okay, so the update is they did not, their entire house lost internet. So hopefully that can be resolved soon. I'm not sure what happens if someone DCs, especially mid-game, whether they have to play 3v5. I assume that's what it would be. Hard to tell right now. Yeah, I'll keep you updated as more information's coming through. The players are just trying to play rock, paper, scissors through chat. I typically try not to show chat, by the way, so if any of you are wondering why I'm not showing that, that's because I like to give the players a little bit of privacy off stream, you know? There's something that is not going to be permanently etched on the internet. I don't expect they'll say anything bad to each other. Pretty much everyone I've met in the NGS has been absolutely fantastic. But just to give them that extra little bit of comfort, you know? Not get into the players' own heads with all chat. But yeah, as updates come through, I'll keep them coming, but not too much quite yet. I'm just gonna sit here, sip my tea, enjoy the music. I am really happy with the music that I've gotten, by the way. Has had a couple issues just because the license only sometimes works on Twitch, so I have to contest it, and I usually win like literally immediately, but still annoying. Totally worth buying it though. I think it really adds a little something, and it makes casting a lot nicer too, if I may say so. Now the real question is what is the main meta for rock, paper, scissors? Jason says rock is great at rock, paper, scissors, but only when someone picks scissors. So I'm still not sure why they're just talking about rock, paper, scissors, but that seems to be the current idea. Now I'm wondering what this pause is going to do in terms of the momentum that Roll1Esports had, because it is two members of Roll1Esports that have DC'd. So, in fact, I'm going to turn off chat for a little bit. Going to get back into the map. And we're just going to walk through this a little bit. I'll add the music, though, just for the extra little ambiance as we stroll through. But it is these two that DC'd, obviously, since they're a hard thing. And they're going to lose a decent amount of pressure onto these skeletons. They did manage to get the pick off. But because of this pickoff, if both of them reset, it doesn't really amount to much. Because by the time they reset, by the time they get back, it's not going to take too long for the variant to respawn and get back into this map as well. And before that does happen, for a short little while, it is 4v3. And Bunker Funtime, they're already up in the lead when it comes to skeletons, 11-3. However, one thing to note is that they are getting pushed in, at least through the bot lane. Mid lane, I believe they will be pushing in slightly, but neither of these matter too much. Until the cannons come out, it's not going to matter in any super meaningful way. Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this will do to the momentum. They do have the Bruiser camp pushing in, and that might help by a little bit of time. But it definitely really sucks for Roll1Esports. It gets so much harder for them because of losing this momentum just as the teamfight ended. This isn't just like a moment where they were farming. This was kind of in the middle of everything. But now still no new updates. They were still talking about now rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock for anyone who watched that show. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to talk about here. The game is at a standstill. Hopefully we can get restarted soon, but it's kind of hard. Internet issues just happen out of nowhere sometimes. Maybe resetting the router helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends where you are in the world. In North America, I guess, for NGS. Whether you're out in the countryside, out in the city, things change a lot for that. Yeah, I guess I can take a look at the talent here. You know what? This is a rare opportunity for me to try and learn how talents work, because I am not good at finding builds. I do not know any builds. I'll be completely honest. It's my main flaw as a caster. I'm a terrible analyst. I don't actually know who's late game. I don't know who's early game. And that's kind of my goal for this season, to get better with that, learn the talents. I do know these talents quite well. I play a lot of false, and it's one of my most played heroes in the game. So this is something I'm familiar with. But now it is going to be the quarterback in the rhythm. So it's going to be the talent that actually increases the length of it. And I've noticed that overkill is commonly the talent taken at level 4. It's interesting that it is going to be that extra max HP. And it's interesting to me because I don't think there's really anyone on Roll1Esports that is that big beefcake in terms of health, because it is an ETC. It is the Dahaka. They have some HP, obviously, as frontliners, but they're not like the Diablo, the Cho'Gall, because apparently that's relevant now. Or even the Deathwing, just something that has a ton of HP that you get more value out of it. So it is a curious talent for me. And then Melting Point for the Grenade and Commandeer Odin. So those are all pretty standard. I believe that most of the grenade talents are just flat out good for Tychus. Helps a lot with long range poke, and the grenade deals an absurd amount of damage sometimes. Considering how long range it is if you get quarterback, it's so easy to land so much poke damage throughout the game. Now it is going to be Taunt. And I am curious. So it's actually called Lion's Fang. I've been calling it Twin Blades. Whoops. Oh yeah, Twin Blades is this thing. That's to buff the Lion's Fang. Now it's going to slow longer and deal more and more damage after they get through. So the 25 hits, that's what's really important. Now what do they got? Lionheart increases the healing from heroes. I didn't even know it healed. So there we go. We're learning already. I'm gonna quickly take a look at chat. Yeah, still nothing. And then shield wall gonna get turned in as well. So interesting. I always thought that Perry always had full damage clear. I guess that is the talent over at level 10. So level 10 is still pretty powerful for the Varian. Now what do we got here? Lurking Arm deals more damage. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, this extra 1 second is actually so big because sometimes you really cannot hold it, and it adds so much extra time to it if you just want to do a quick Lurking Arm. Now the biggest reuptake, bio kill switch. Okay, just more healing. And the extra 50%. It is interesting that it was swipe instead of extendo arm. I still refuse to even learn what the other heroic ability is called. I'm just always going to call it extendo arm for the rest of my life, I think. I just find it funny. And what do we got here? Molten Blood, some more health. Molten Flame dealing more damage. So landing ability is going to be chucked out here as well. Oh, when paused, I shouldn't have the game up? Really? Oh, whoops. My bad. Thank you for that, Eternally Blue. I'm just trying to get some content in between, but I do apologize. I don't even know if this game is going to continue because we've been kind of waiting for, I believe now, 10-ish minutes. So hopefully they'll be able to re-log in soon. But it is a bit of a rough spot right now. Does anyone know what the rules are for this? Oh, apparently their router is completely shot and broken. That's the issue. The router literally will not turn back on. It's not even a question of turn it off and on. It's already off and it's not coming back on. So hopefully they'll be able to have some pause time. Okay, so it looks like they have about 1 minute left on pause bank. And I believe after that, they do have to play 3v5. But I'm wondering if they're even going to be able to finish this series. Okay, so their current idea is to try tethering off the phone and hotspotting. So this could be very interesting to see how this goes. I wonder how powerful the internet would be for that. Yeah. No, it's a real shame. I was really looking forward to this series. I was hyping it up for a reason. The second and third position playing each other for first place. If they're not able to actually play it out, then it's just going to be the classic 2-0 into first place for Bunker Funtime. Or not? Did they get first place? No, I believe they've already lost to the first place team. Now they should be running out of pause time pretty soon, so they're going to have to just play with the AI. They haven't said anything in chat yet, and I do appreciate the Bunker Funtime. They're not really rushing them. They're not really pressuring them like, hey, where is this? Where is this? They've been very patient. That's 10 minutes, not 15. Interesting. I think we've been past 10 minutes, I'll be honest. We could check later in the VOD. I don't really care, though. I'm not a referee. I just yell at my screen. That's my role here. But hopefully they'll be able to reconnect soon. I will say one thing I am glad about, as someone who also casts League of Legends, this rarely happens in HOTS. This happens like at least once or twice a week in League. It's so frustrating. Like if the league is only going 4 days a week, you will have this happen at least twice. Half the games. There's even a current bug for any of you who's interested, where sometimes if in the middle of the game, it'll randomly kick the spectator out, and if the spectator gets kicked out, they will never be able to go back in. So we've had productions before where we just get kicked out at minute 2. And that's with delay, so obviously the players are far more into it. And then we just get kicked out and we can't even stream the game. So I do appreciate a lot of what HOTS has. Obviously it's not updated as much as we'd love to. But at least the main game is still functioning pretty well. There's not too many bugs. There's not too many issues overall. But yeah. The router is fully dead. That's the update we got. They're trying to phone tether. That's genuinely going to be their solution for this game. B West is a fairly close group of people. That's good to hear. Because genuinely, like, NGS, as bad as it sounds, like, at the end of the day, this is a community. There's no money up for grabs. There is pride, and I know a lot of people will play pretty hard just to show they are the best. But at some point, they are just going to be having fun playing it. But it looks like they should be getting back in shortly. So, going to turn off the chat and we're going to be right back in. I don't know if anyone remembers where we were. I'm going to turn off the... Whoops, I'm turning off the music in the wrong spot. Yeah, I'm just going to turn it off for now. Okay, and they are getting started. With the delay, it shouldn't matter. Let's get into game.
A hero has left the battle.
Alright, so Waniba and Zad are going, and Rocker W are going to be back here. So they're going to start playing towards these skeletons, and the Bruiser Camp is going to start getting taken down by Dicello and Plantpack. Oh, sorry, just give me a little moment to regain my bearings. It has been a little bit. But the Bruiser Camp is going to get finished off, but it looks like the Mortar Punisher will get secured for Roll1Esports. They were able to get that kill, and they were able to turn it into this objective. And now with the Bruiser Camp pushing in top, level 13 talent has been hit for Bunker Funtime. And actually Roll1Esports, they're holding it to 39 skeletons. I think they want to get that level 13 talent first, and now they're going to start pushing for it. They're pretty close. Zad should be able to pick up that level 13 pretty quickly on their own. And now it's going to be the 4 push top. And now Odin is going to get thrown out just to help push them away. And one even gets taken out at half HP just with that Odin combo into the lurking arm. Now the black arrows have been tossed out onto the fort as well. Already at 52 stacks on Gathering Storm, by the way. So this is going to be a pretty powerful ball stat as we head later and later into the game. Now, Odin going to be taken down, and the Punisher is going to follow. So it's going to be 3/4 health onto the fort. Once again, still not taken down. And Zad actually able to take down the siege camp over in this bot lane, as they are one-on-one versus Alumini Bree. Now, Earthshatter going to land for the stun. And the Molten Flame just going to get tossed out to help clear this away. Siege Camp's going to get started by both these sides. Rocket W going to be able to get it pretty quickly. And Bunker Funtime haven't even started on theirs. So this could be a point of contention for Roll1Esports. They are still behind in XP, just slightly, less than half a level. And Black Arrows are going to get thrown down in this middle, but they have the taunt and the Cataclysm over top with the Lurking Arm. Rocket W going to get gusted back into the Lurking Arm. And they do have the Molten Flame, and they're going to get 2. Thrall's going to get taken down here as well. And that gust into the Lurking Arm, back into the Lurking Arm, I should say. Huge plays coming out of Bunker Funtime. And they're regaining their XP lead. Unfortunately for them, there isn't really any big objectives to grab, but they will be able to get the push, and they'll finish off the gate. And now Raven X getting jumped upon. Zad looking for the play, looking for the dragon. Will be able to land it into the light bomb. So they will trade one back. But in the meanwhile, there's 4 members up top for Bunker Funtime. They're going to be using everything. Molten Flame, and with the wave, they should be able to take down this fort. Maybe trade on the spot side. Black Arrows are there for Jason. But the top fort will go down first. And now Bunker Funtime, they do have the first move, so they could try to continue this. They're looking towards this mid lane fort. And with the Cataclysm, could actually help take it down. But everyone is starting to roam up. They're in a weird spot. Dicello actually going to get hit with the stun as well. And the mosh pit there. Dicello going to go down. And now can they get anything else? They have the Chastise onto Zednem. And Zednem will follow. Another 2 for nothing. But this time is for Roll1Esports. Now level 16, it has been hit by both these teams. And Velvet going to get hit very low. And actually they're able to burst down the Sylvanas in the backline during that. The grenade toss and the hammerang with the Molten Flame just dealing so much burst. This roster, this draft from Bunker Funtime is just so powerful when it comes to single target DPS. And that's exactly what you want when you do play the Varian Stukov combo. But now Roll1Esports will be able to steal back this siege camp. They're going to be able to get at least something going back their way. But will Bunker Funtime look to try and contest onto any other fight? It looks like they're just trying to position to clear this away early. So they're not going to get too much value out of the push. But that's still going to close the level lead just a little bit. And with their Bruiser camp back up, Roll1Esports should be in a very good place to even out the lead. Now both teams are on level 17. So no one's anywhere near that level 20 talent, and that will be the next upgrade. And Odin actually going to get utilized early. I'm a bit surprised about that. And with these 2 extra skeletons over in the top right, actually going to go the way of Roll1Esports. Now they have the first move. They have gone a lot of skeletons already for Bunker Funtime. Alumini Bree just trying to zone people away with the Molten Flame and dealing so much damage actually. But Plantfax Zad grouping into the back, looking for Dicello. Gotta go into stasis. Will be okay for now. But the Earthshatter lands onto so many members, and the Molten Flame dealing more and more damage in the backline. They're just gonna zone them away. The poke damage is so strong by Bunker Funtime, and they should be able to secure this Frost Punisher for themselves. Now in the meanwhile, Raven X and Zad both over in this top side. Pretty big wave with the Bruiser camp, but the main Shaman will get taken down. So they will be able to clear it out. Now they're looking over towards Rocket W, but with the Leap of Faith, we'll be okay. Cataclysm gonna get thrown towards the mid lane as well. And the Earth Shatter gonna land onto Velvet, but they don't have any other follow-up. Velvet just trying to DPS a little bit. Is in a bit of a weird spot. Probably gonna have to go all the way around. But now they're going to start damaging onto these structures. And Velvet actually looking to play aggressively. Zednem not in range to get the taunt. So they will be able to get a good chunk of damage onto this wall. But in the meanwhile, Zad, I should say, already pushing into this bot side. Has the siege camp, has the cannon, and will just hearth back and will be safe. So good decent amount of poke. Actually taking down one of the gates. Actually both the gates. And the cannon tower. Now the Siege Camp is back up for Roll1Esports. They're going to be able to secure that. And the Bruiser Camp is up for Bunker Funtime, so they'll be able to take that. Right now, Structure is slightly favoring Bunker Funtime. They have 2 forts to the 1. They have 1 left in the top there that's quite low, but Roll1Esports looking for the trap. They're looking towards Alumini Bria. They're bringing 4 members down, but with the Cataclysm, we'll be able to just run away, but that's still a major cooldown burned. For really just a macro move from Roll1Esports, they did not have to burn any major cooldowns, so now RavenX was trying to stop them from getting mounted, but just barely out of range, just a little bit too slow. But the push is still going to be coming through for Bunker Funtime. As Zad is trying to push over the top side, we'll be able to finish off the last little bit of that Bruiser Camp and could even look towards that top lane fort. Flight has been burned. Alumini Brie also not in a position to contest it. We'll use the Molten Flame just to clear away that last wave. And now these minions are going to start poking away at this fort, but the fight has started. They have this on Sleep of Faith for Rock Your W. Just going to be enough, but now the Burrow Charge from Zad from behind. They see Zad, the Raven-X looking for it. Gonna just get the Lightning Rod for now. Will get the slow with the Hammerang. Zednam not going to be able to land the taunt. Doesn't have the range, and it's 5v4 down here, and they're looking for it. The Gust just going to be used defensively. And once again, Roll1Esports, just with their passive pressure, are forcing big cooldowns out of Bunker Funtime. And now they will be collecting this push over in the mid lane. Level 20 now hit by both teams virtually at the identical moment. So now we have hit the late game. Still only 59 stacks on Gathering Storm. Was doing pretty well at one point, but there just hasn't been much fighting since then. Not since that top lane kerfuffle. As Rocker W once again trying to zone away Raven X, and this bot side Siege Camp going to be going the way of Roll1Esports. Should be pretty free for them. I don't know how much they'll be able to push, as Rocker W just trying to zone them away so they cannot contest on it. But the next shrine will be over on the bot side, and Bunker Funtime will have a little bit of a passive push in the mid lane, but that shouldn't be too far for Roll1Esports to be able to deal with it. Now, however, what they can do right now for Bunker Funtime is they do have the first move and the inside tracker from this bot lane. They can start taking down this fort. There is no one here for Roll1Esports. They've elected to take their full roster up top to get this Bruiser Camp. And the Bruiser Camp will be able to provide a little bit of pressure over the top side, but losing a fort for that, I don't know if that's the right call. But now they are going to get started on this end. I wonder if they're just planning on doing a full base race right now. Roll1Esports, and this was their strategy all along. They're throwing out the black arrows, and they're getting started on this wall immediately. Is anyone going to be answering them? For now, it doesn't seem that way. It's just going to be Alumini Brie going to land over on this bot side, or in this top side, and with the Molten Flame, just trying to keep them away. Earth Shatter gonna get thrown as well, gonna stun on a 3. Raven X is here for the damage, and with the Wind Wall, gonna pull a bunch of them away, and just trying to buy as much time as possible. But now the Mortal Punisher has been done. Cataclysm gonna get thrown out just once again to help with the clear. But it does look like they're just going to be able to take down this keep. But no, with the Molten Flame, they have more than enough damage to just keep them away. That's a lot of damage to the keep, but in the end of the day, that's not any permanent damage. And now Velvet trying to run away. Zednam looking for the play, but Rocky W going to be able to use the blink over the wall and will remount and just back away. No one goes down during that play, but while they're all chasing each other and running back, the Mortar Punisher is continuing to push in this bot lane, getting so much value right now. Took down the entire wall and is now aiming towards this keep. And the Mortal Punisher kills it very quickly. Rocky W going to be tanking up a couple of these autos. And now the side of Bunker Funtime also going to start pushing towards this mid lane. And this Punisher actually going to take this down just as low, if not lower, than the keep in the top side for Bunker Funtime. But however, they're going to be able to take the keep in mid. So huge victory for Bunker Funtime. Roll1Esports will be able to answer with his cannon. One more hit, and that'll be all she wrote. So now, one keep apiece, but the final keep standing for Roll1Esports. Very unhealthy. Just a little bit of DPS will be enough. But now they're aiming to contest onto the Siege Camp. Rocky W looking to play immediately. And they will be able to get the root onto PlantFax, but PlantFax will be able to just back away. They secured the Siege Camp. It's going to get cleared away, so it's not going to accomplish too much. But that could have been deadly for Bunker Funtime. It'll give them a little bit of extra pressure in mid. It'll slow down Roll1Esports. They're going to have to come back and deal with it. As Alumini Bree going to land back down. And the Bruiser Camp will get cleared out by Bunker Funtime. And now Alumini Bree, they see Zad. Zad in a bad spot will be forced to just Hearth. But no, is actually walking up. So Alumini Bree going to get the Earthshatter. They do have the stun. And Zad's in a really bad spot. Just trying to run back and forth, but I believe Zad should just be gone here. Surely there's no way they get away, right? And with the swipe, actually helps Zad a little bit. Zad is going to be able to walk away. Dahaka, good hero, well balanced. I'm so excited for the nerfs. I'll be honest, that's my main bias. I hate Dahaka for that very reason. Any other hero called 1v5 against the wall would go down, but not Dahaka. But the Brush Stalker was just used to go top. And now it's 4v5 over the bot side. Ravenex could be looking for the play, but now they have the power slide, but not able to land the dogs. But all of them will be able to just back away. But this is going to be extra pressure right now for Bunker Funtime. They're going to walk forward, and they will be able to just finish off this bottom keep. So now there's going to be extra push coming out for Bunker Funtime. 2 keeps to 1. There is the siege camp over on this bot side. And with an extra catapult as well. And with that being said, Rocky W is still going to aim towards them. I don't think they're going to be going for the engage quite yet, but they will clear away this bot side. However, Black Arrow is going to get thrown down over in this mid lane. And now Raven X going to use the flight just to get to the defense faster. They have the extra slow on a Velvet, and the dog's not going to land. Rocky W not going to get taunted. Power slides over the wall once again. And with that, they will finish off this wave. And the only structure left for Roll1Esports is the top lane, which could be good or bad. But now Rocky W is going to get taunted and sides with a lurking arm and just immediately burst down. Bunker Funtime able to deal so much damage, but now they have the Cataclysm. They're looking for more. They have the Earthshatter. Velvet's going to go down as well. Molten Flame zoning everyone else away. Now it's just Zad trying to get away. Is going to get slowed and silenced by the lurking arm, but not enough damage to follow. But Juaniva is in a bad spot, but will land the chastise, so we'll be okay. And now it's going to be 5v3. They don't have a wave, but they do have more members. And now the Odin is going to be coming through. Molten Flame just trying to DPS as fast as possible. Big red button dealing so much damage to the core. It's 3v5, and they're just burning everything, trying to keep them away. Juaniva gonna come in with the light bomb, able to deal so much damage, but I think it's too little, too late. Bunker Funtime will win game number 1. Very close game, but just that one last pickoff on Rock Your W, that's all they needed. And when you're playing the pickoff comp, that's all you should need. The amount of burst they had, it doesn't matter that it's an ETC. If you're caught out even slightly, you are going to go down. They played aggressively. They tried to get onto that camp, and they were able to secure it for themselves. High risk, high reward. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it'll be game number 2.
Dragonshire.
All right. And we are into game number 2 between Bunker Funtime and Roll1Esports. Now, it's currently a 1-0 lead for Bunker Funtime. And if they're able to get this domination, they're going to be pretty up there in the rankings. They're going to be tied for first with Bork Side of the Moon at 11 points. So, going to be pretty big for them. Now we are on to Dragonshire. It's another pretty tall map. Dahaka, once again, should be a pretty good hero here. And Diablo, once again, going to be the first ban from Bunker Funtime. Now, I'll be honest, I don't remember too much about the bans from the first game, because that was ages ago. Unfortunately, the pause did end up killing a little bit of the momentum, but hopefully game 2 will be still going strong. But for those of you not in the know, 2 of the players on Roll1Esports are playing on a phone tether right now. Their router completely broke, so they're just playing on their phone data. But now Maya is going to get banned away once again by Roll1Esports. So that's definitely going to be a disadvantage, and I'm sure they're going to be getting some little bits of lag, a little bit of ping spike. I know that hotspots right now have gotten pretty good, but still will not win out against good Wi-Fi or Ethernet cable, you know? And those little bits, they do end up mattering the better you get at the game. And now second ban, going to be the Anubrak. So once again, just taking away the 2 tanks. They're a little bit worried about it. The ETC still performed quite well in that first game. It's going to be interesting to see which tank they do end up going for on the side of Roll1Esports this game. ETC should still be available, but first pick is going to be Bunker Funtime. I believe they banned away the Joanna, if I'm not mistaken, in game number 1. And going to be interesting to see if they follow the same. No, they banned the Vala, and I think that actually may have been their ban last time as well. But Joanna is available if either of these 2 teams want it. Dahaka also available. Oriel, I believe Oriel went past. And once again, Dicello just going to lock in the Stukov. They seem to value the Lurking Arm and the Stukov quite a bit. The swipe's obviously very good for disengage. Same with the Extendo Arm. And everyone hates playing into Lurking Arm. It's a very powerful ability. Stukov is a very powerful healer, but has one very major weakness, and that's that Stukov doesn't have a cleanse, which does make it a bit more difficult to play. but it's going to be ETC and the Li Ming coming out for Jason. Now that's going to be an interesting choice. Now, as for typical responses to it, Anubarak is banned away, but it's going to be Sylvanas and Joanna locked in for Bunker Funtime. And it's surprising to me, Dehaka got past this phase. Dehaka, obviously super powerful overall, should be pretty good at Dragonshire, able to move between all parts of the map pretty quickly. And that'll definitely help when it comes to locking in these heroes. Or when locking in the Dragon Knight. But now Falstad going to get banned away as well for Roll1Esports. So not going to be able to play it this time for Raven X. But the offlane was interesting in this last game. Zad did play the Dehaka, whereas Alumini Bree played the Deathwing. I don't think that matchup would work quite as well on a map like Dragonshire that has a more severe 1-4 lineup. The top lane is very far away from the bot lane here, and you do want control of both of them if you want to be able to take the Dragon Knight. And the Dragon Knight is a very powerful objective. If you're able to get an early lead on this map, it's so much easier to maintain it if you have the passive push in the mid. Even just a little passive push in the bot or top, it just slows things down. And when it's your turn to get the push in, you're able to get it so much further. But now Rhaegar and Thrall are going to get locked in for Juaniba and Zad. And I'm interested if this is offlane Thrall. Zad is the offlaner for Roll1Esports. But Thrall typically, obviously can play in the offlane role, but also is commonly played as the melee assassin. Now Alumini Bree going to lock in the Dehaka. And Raven X locking in the Nazebo. So that's the second Nazebo we see today. And the second Nazebo as part of the 4 core that we're seeing today. Now I'm wondering what build they're going to go. I've noticed that the spider build, the spider jar build, has been pretty popular. And yes, it is going to be most likely Rexar with Velvet in the off lane up against the Dehaka. So got the bear, got the 2 green guys going for Roll1Esports. Should be a pretty interesting draft this game. Now, one final shout out for today's stream. Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Download for free today and help support this stream. But let us get into game number 2.
Prepare for combat.
And we are into game number 2 between Bunker Funtime and Roll1Esports. We are on Dragonshire, so pretty large map, pretty interesting area for these two teams to try fighting in. So I am curious what the offlane is going to be. I do expect Velvet's going to go in the offlane on the Rexar. And, or actually no, they ended up swapping. So Velvet is on the Thrall and Zad's going to be playing the Rexar. Okay, so then that makes it pretty apparent. Zad is going to be playing in the offlane with the bear. And now all 10 members running towards this mid lane. Rocket W and Misha playing forward. Condemn just going to be used to pull them nearby. Arcane Orb just barely out of range, as Misha will be able to stun too. And with the heal, should be able to get out. But now they're looking towards it. And with the extra Condemn, need just a little bit more damage, but not able to take down Misha. Too much healing coming out of both Juaniba and from Zad themselves being able to heal up Misha. And right now, it does seem like the Nazebo is going for the Spider Jar build. It's incredibly powerful, and once you hit the late game, those spiders deal so much damage. Oh, but Roll1Esports, they're doing a split map or a mirrored matchup as Alumini Bree is getting jumped upon, trying to get away, and will die just behind the wall. Roll1Esports able to get first blood this game. But they are bringing 4-1 instead of 1-4. But because of that, with the black arrows, Bunker Funtime should be able to push in here very easily. And with the Nazebo and Sylvanas combo. They should have a pretty good time of this. Now Zednam trying to pull them back. Zad starting to get low. They're aiming towards him, but Zednam getting hit quite low and barely going to be able to survive from this fort. But now with the zombie wall, going to be a lot of damage just clearing away the wave as well. The top lane wall just gets finished off by Roll1Esports. And Alamini Bree is able to get the soak over in the mid lane and it's still able to come up top to help push this away. Slight win, I'd argue, for Bunker Funtime, especially since they have the Bruiser camp down here. And that's typically why you do bring the 4 stack over down here. And with the zombie wall, with the spider jar actually hitting onto Misha, they should be able to take this Bruiser camp and start pushing with it. But now Jason and Juaniba going to be starting on their own Bruiser camp over on this top mirrored side. And Zednam is just going to be shoving this in. And with this push, with if they have black arrows back up, which I believe they should, they could definitely look to just take down this fort. And they're definitely trying. They're dealing so much damage to it right now. Still only level 4, so they're not quite as strong in terms of DPS. Will take a bit more time. But this fort's definitely going to go down. And in the top side, Alamini Bree able to defend it just a little bit better. Now Zad in a bad spot and will get finished off. Plantfax able to get that extra kill. And they're just going to keep pushing. They still have their Bruiser camp. The top fort is still alive for Bunker Funtime, and they're just falling behind on the pacing. And about a half level lead right now for Bunker Funtime, and they're just going to be able to take down this bot lane cannon tower. They're going to be able to take down the rest of this wall, and already in such a commanding spot to be in for Bunker Funtime. They did lose their fort on the top side. Alamini Bree gonna be able to pull it back for themselves, as Velvet is standing alone in the mid lane, but doesn't see anyone else on the map, thinks twice about it, and just backs away. Now Siege Camp going to get started by Bunker Funtime, and also answered by Roll1Esports. Now there are going to be the usual lane somewhat, but it is going to be Velvet on the Thrall alone in the top side. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide. Is this what they're going to keep? Or are they going to rearrange the lanes once again? Roll1Esports definitely playing the fun style with their macro today. They are just going to be bringing their entire lineup up top once again. Alamini Bree trying to take the shrine as level 7 is hit, but in a bad spot, is going to get stunned up. Face mode to go further back, just trying to run past them. And will use the stasis now. There are no brushes to gain extra move speed, and Alamini Bree is going to get finished off here as an extra kill going over. But while they're doing that, Bunker Funtime, they're pushing off this mid lane. They're going to get half of the fort and the entire wall. But now they're able to get the stun onto 2. Condemn going to land onto 3. But they're already burst them. Dicello stuck as well. Will follow. And it's just going to be Zednam backing away. And that should be the Dragonite going over to Roll1Esports. And with that play alone, they should be able to bring back the offensive for their structures. Now, it's still a pretty early Dragonite, so it's not super powerful, but there's no one here to clear it. It's just Zednam trying to fight against a Dragonite and 2 other members of Roll1Esports. Now, Plantfact is going to be matching soon as well. Will be here, so this fort may still survive, but this will definitely even out the current map state. And just throwing down these Dragon Breath, able to burn down at least a little bit of this fort. Now the Dragonite is going to start walking over towards this bot side. RavenX already here to help pull this away. The frogs not going to land too hard. Same with the spiders. But this Dragonite is starting to get quite low. It is starting to lose the timer as well. Only 15 seconds left. And they will be able to clear the entire wave thanks to the power of Sylvanas. So 1 more breath for the wall, and I believe that should be it. Only 4 seconds left, only 10% HP, and still going down. The spider's dealing so much damage. 95 stacks on Widowmakers. And it's going to increase the DPS quite substantially. Just need to get 1 more stack, and that'll be it. But now Alamini Bree maybe getting caught out once again. Goes into stasis, and will get hit by the power slide and the root, and Alamini Bree once again gets finished off. 5-1 the kill score for Roll1Esports. And they're looking pretty good right now. They're just moving around the map slightly better, slightly faster. And I'd even argue that their current draft is at a bit of a disadvantage when playing this style. But they've been able to play it so much better that it's working for them. Now they're gonna bring all their members to the bot side except for Velvet on the throw on the top side. And they're doing a double-pronged approach. Jason trying to take down the wall, while at the same time they're aiming towards the Bruiser camp. But now 4 members are going to be here. Zednam is in the backside, going to throw the Condemn onto 3. They have the silence as well with the Wailing Wall, but with the mosh pit onto so many members. Iron Skin going to get popped just in time. Zednam gets the blind as well. He's going to be traded for Zed. It's 1-for-1. Misha also down. Earthquake over top. Velvet trying to auto, and they're able to take everyone down. Planfax going to follow, and it's just Raven X left alive, but not for long. And it's a 5-for-1 for Roll1Esports. And they get the Bruiser camp, and they're going to get the push. And they're just looking really good right now. They're going to be able to take down this wall. And I think with this Bruiser camp, they may look to just take down this fort in its entirety. And that will give them the advantage in terms of these buildings. Bot lane is the only place they were down behind where their fort is shoving in. Now Zednam going to try and delay with these blinds. But with this Bruiser camp still at full HP, I don't think there's any way Zednam can stop this. And it's going to be another fort going down for Roll1Esports. Now it's 2-1 in terms of structures. Now, however, at the same time, Bunker Fun Time, they have finished the Widowmaker's talent. So Raven X is going to be incredibly powerful now. Also has a Gargantuan, so that's going to be the ultimate of choice this time. Or sorry, the heroic of choice. As Aluminum Bree gets started on the Bruiser camp over on the top side as well. So all the camps are up on the map, but level 13 now hit by Roll1Esports. They do have a brief power play. I say brief, but they are still up over a level. Siege camp gonna go down, gonna help get them level 12. Aluminum Bree will be able to get a bit of soak just from this Bruiser camp as well. And there's also a large wave grouping up top, but now they're looking towards Zed, but not gonna be able to get any other pick off. Blessed Shield not committed, but just throwing them off the trail will help buy time. It'll help them soak up a little bit more. They do still get a little bit of passive XP since they do have that fort down. Raven X just going to be chucking in the frogs. Already at 93 stacks, 94. And actually, they're going straight for the fort. They're just going to use the black arrows. They see all the members up in the top side. And with these frogs, with the Gargantuan, going to get committed as well. And the stomp, that should be enough. This fort is going to go down. But now Rocky W looking for the aggressive play. Level 13 still not hit by Bunker Fun Time. But the Lurking Arm helps build a decent amount of space. They have the stun. But in the meanwhile, in the bot lane, Aluminum Bree able to take down Zad 1v1. We were watching the main fight. But with that, they're going to get the pick. And they're also going to have level 13 available for them. And now Zednam still looking for the aggressive play. Has Blessed Shield, but not going to use it yet. Knew that there would not be any extra follow-up ready. So now they have the bottom shrine. They've managed to take the middle fort. So this will even out the structures a little bit. The difference is that Roll1Esports has the push up top. Bunker Fun Time have the push up mid. And now Bunker Fun Time, they're rotating up top. Going to try and get a little bit of a push here. They do have the wave already. Now Rocky W gonna get the face melt, but the drag just barely not going to land onto Velvet. As they are pushing, Zad walking in, will get hit by the Condemn. And now Rocky W trying to get the Moshpit and will be able to, but they have the stage, they have the Blessed Shield, and now they're still fighting, they're still moving forward, and Velvet will be the first one to go down. Rocky W is behind everyone, the Condemn just preventing anything else from coming through. Rocky W is in a very bad spot, but no one's really there to DPS. Planfax is there, Dicello, and the rest of the team will group up. But the Power Slide might be able to get away with the extra heal, and actually will be able to just walk it out. As Planfax will also be able to get the point, but now Aluminum Brian trying to take the Dragon Knight, but Jason just trying to get in the way. But the more they send there, the less they can defend up top. Bunker Fun Time going to start pushing away the top side, and they're still able to get the Dragon Knight as well. Now they're going to have the push mid, they're going to have the push top, and I'm wondering where they're going to send this Dragon Knight. Just going to kick away Jason and immediately just start pushing onto this wall over in the mid lane. The entire team can just freely DPS right now onto it. But because of this map movement, they were able to take down the top lane fort. So it's a bit of a weird situation since the entire squad is resetting. They're kind of on opposite points of the map. But Bunker Fun Time, they still have a little bit of time to regroup. 40 seconds left on this Dragon Knight. They do have the push already started. Now, are they going to try and regroup? Will they be able to get any more value out of this Dragon Knight? I think there might not be enough time. He's not gonna teleport away from this little flame breath. 20 seconds left. May be able to get a little bit of extra damage onto this keep, but just going to be used to clear away the gates, and that should be it. That's still all 3 forts now taken down by Bunker Funtime, as they are grouping towards this mid lane, just kind of following around. But now Raven X is getting jumped upon, but the rest of Bunker Funtime is here, and they actually have the numbers. They're looking onto Jays on their main DPS, is going to get hit to the back, but now Velvet is stuck in the shrine. Rock Your W getting DPS very hard. They have the drag onto the healer, but there's just no follow-up. They still have a lot of their abilities left. Rocky W looking and will be able to get a massive mosh pit. But in the meanwhile, in the backline, Alumini Breeze in a bad spot as well, but is healing back up. Velvet gonna get caught out. Earthquake comes out, but it's a bit too late. Bunker Funtime able to get one and Misha for nothing. Both sides level 16, but now they're pushing in towards this bot side. May not have enough time for this push, but they do have time to take this siege camp. At least Alumini Bree will. And now they're still going to try to get this push going. They have a lot of good siegers on their team. They have Nazebo. They have Sylvanas. And if they're able to keep walking forward, they can get at least a little bit of poke down to these structures. Now Misha is back up. They do have a lurking arm and the zombie wall as well. And with a condemn, Misha once again going to go down. Only a 20-second death timer, so we'll be back up shortly. As Velvet is also back up now. Now Rocky Dobby looking for the play. We'll get the face melt back on it too. But Plant Fox will be able to just jump away. Now Rocky W kind of getting stuck into the wall. And will get finished off here. Velvet hit by the Blessed Shield. Trying to heal up, but not enough. 2 kills for Bunker Funtime. And they have the black arrows. They have the Gargantuan. They're aiming for this bot lane keep. Alumini Bree is going to be able to heal back up. And that's another big play for Bunker Funtime. It's a close game, but it looks like they're not done either. They're going to keep walking forward. Alumini Bree looking for the play, but Stasis coming out from Zad. But Misha once again will go down, and they're getting started onto this core. Level 18, so they are uneven talents. But still 20 seconds till someone else comes up. Jason not going to get hit by that condemn, but they just don't have enough damage, do they? Zedem is going to go down. Can they follow up? But Bunker Funtime, they will be able to win it, and it's a domination for BFT. And what an end to the game. Very interesting map movements by both teams here. Bunker Funtime able to get the 2-0. But I think either of those games could have gone both ways. It's really unfortunate. Roll1Esports, whether or not the tether internet is really affecting them, it's definitely unfortunate they were put in that situation. It killed their momentum in game 1. But that's not to take away from Bunker Funtime. They were able to play extremely well, and they deserved their 2-0 today. Now I'm going to see if anyone is available for an interview. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, I've thrown out the command, just waiting for someone to join in. All right, there we go. Yeah, definitely a long series today. Was a lot of fun though. Started casting over at 6, and I gotta say, even though they were both 2-0s, these were some pretty long series today. And yeah, looks like someone will be joining. I'm not sure who quite yet, but Zad has said they're throwing someone, and it is going to be Zad themselves. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
And I'm being joined here by Zad and PlantFax. So,
Yeah,
Hi.
I drug him in here.
perfect.
I tried to get Bree in here. Bree's Deathwing carried the fuck out of us game 1. But alas, here I am.
Well, we still have 2 members, and that's what matters. So, first of all, congratulations on your win today. This will propel you pretty high in the standings, and I believe you are now tied for first place. How does it make you feel?
It
Feels
makes me
good.
warm and fuzzy inside.
Mostly fuzzy, but also warm.
Yeah, those
Very
are 2
fuzzy.
good
It's
feelings.
late.
Now you're talking about game number 1, and let's just address the elephant in the room right away. So with the internet issues that Roll1Esports had, it definitely killed a bit of their momentum, considering they just won a pretty big team fight right before the internet cut out. Do you think that it had a major difference in terms of the timing, or do you think that the series would have been harder had they maintained their router?
I don't think it would have been harder. I don't think it would have been harder, but I think it didn't. Like, it allowed us to talk more strategy while we're playing, like before we started again. So that actually helped us out more than it did them.
I feel like the router contributed to ETC dying on the reserve. Like I feel like if like anyone reacts fast enough, he gets away before he gets taunted. But I don't feel like it contributed to game 2 at all. I feel like that was like a comp and like strategy diff.
Yeah, game 2 was definitely an interesting one. Just absolute reverse lanes coming out from Roll1Esports. Now, what was your reaction when you saw that that was their strategy going in?
Bree cried.
Sucks to be Bree, but I guess we'll just win bot.
Poor Bree, stranded alone in the top lane.
We're like, oh, you're dead? Okay, whatever. Have fun being dead.
And now, sorry, I keep forgetting, but have you played against Bork Side of the Moon yet this season?
That was
Yes,
Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we played our flex match on Friday.
Ah, okay.
I think that was the first or second game we lost was against Bork.
Yep. And
Is a first.
And I believe it is a double round robin for Division B West. So, do you think next time it'll go differently? Do you think this is a team you can beat?
I think so.
I believe so.
I don't feel like any of us were on our top game when we were against them. I feel like it should be a lot closer, if not just an outright win the next time.
You know, I don't think it'll be an outright win next time. I just think it'll be a lot closer. We didn't put our best foot forward that game.
All right. Well, I still admire the confidence, Plant Facts.
I believe in us.
And I believe in you too. That's the carry mindset, you know. But
I think we I think we found our our jive, or no, jive's not the word. Vibe. I don't know.
We found our mojo.
Yeah, we found our mojo. That word. I think we work well together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then we have Raven cracking the whip.
Yeah, Raven's like I've said in a previous interview that Raven's shot calling makes a big difference, and it still does. It did this series.
Definitely always helpful to have that leader. Well,
yeah.
Hoping you can ride this momentum, and my usual final question, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Please stop banning Maev. It makes me sad.
All right.
First off, I have fans. Like, what is this?
We've talked.
I need to set up a PO box.
I didn't know I had fans either. That's new. See, I knew joining this team was the right idea, and getting 3 hours of sleep would be worth it.
Yeah, Bunker Fun Time, biggest following in all of NGS history. HGC as well.
Oh, yeah.
My god. I'm up there with fan? I'm so flattered.
Yeah. We all love you, Plant. That's what. The secret to me bringing you in is because I wanted more of a following. I knew you had a fan base.
I am very flattered.
Well, either way,
I would like to tell Hoku to play more Artanis. There's that.
Oh, we're trying to get the Artanis game. I'm yet to cast one where Hoku's around.
I forget. Is a domination 4 points or 3 points?
4 points.
4.
Yeah, we are tied with.
Yeah,
4
I
We are
believe
tied.
you are still second due to the current head-to-head. but you're definitely tied in points.
Yes.
But either way, with that, I'm going to be heading out. Congratulations on your victory once again, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you for casting.
for
I appreciate it.
Yeah, always happy to do it. Have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night.
And with that, I'd like to wish all of you at home a good night as well. Definitely a bit of a later end than I expected, but it was a good series and it was a good double series. Once again, I would like to give a whoops, that's loud. I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Click the panel down below or type !3peaks in chat. Download for free today, hit the goals, and help support this stream by playing a free and relaxing solitaire game. Now, my name was Tokibi. I will likely pick up a cast tomorrow, so I'll see you then. But for now, have a good night.